You know, in the time since I've been elected to the City Council and also since being elected Speaker, I think we've collectively, as a neighborhood community and LGBT community, been able to accomplish a great deal for the district and for the city. In the district, since getting elected Speaker, I've been able to work with the neighborhood and pass long-stalled down zonings into place, like the Chelsea 197A, which we saw the importance of in preventing an inappropriate building at the seminary on 9th Avenue, also expanding the number of historic districts and historic landmark buildings in the district, and also moving forward projects that were long stuck. For 30 years, the Chelsea Rec Center on 24th Street, across from housing projects, sat half done. A slap in the face to people who needed centers to go for recreation. That center is now open and a beautiful gem in the Parks Department recreation list of the places. Citywide, we've been able to pass laws that I believe have made the city significantly better. We've been able to put a law on the books that finally gives tenants the right to take their landlords to court when they're being harassed. No longer does a tenant have to go every individual time they don't have heat and hot water. When they know it's harassment, they can go to court about it. We've also passed a law called the Safe Housing Law. It's a historic overhaul of code enforcement now every year. In addition to all of you being able to call code enforcement if you have a problem, the 200 worst buildings in the city will get additional head-to-toe, I guess ceiling to basement is a better way to say it, roof to basement, inspections to make sure those buildings get fixed. We've also, in the time I've been able in the council to move forward important LGBT legislation. The transgender civil rights law is now part of the city's human rights law. We've also been able to protect domestic violence victims and give them standing in the human rights law, as well as the Equal Benefits Bill, which was struck down in court, but nonetheless an important victory. And all of that work together, I think, is a critical part of why we're making the progress we're making now on marriage in this state, and why with all of your support, I've been proud to be able to be a leader nationally on the issue of marriage equality. Now, there's a lot more work to be done, and this is an incredibly difficult time in our city, state, and country. That's why now in the council, we're trying to focus on what can get us through this recession in a way that we come out of it better than we went into it. Dirk has been an amazing help to us on our Open for Business plan, an effort to not only make sure the 220,000 small businesses we have today are there tomorrow and a year from now, but actually that we even grow small businesses in this economic time, and that's an important plan that is going to help small businesses. We're also pushing in this recession for the most progressive tax policies we can possibly get. And even though we're short on revenues, we're pushing in Albany now for an effort to eliminate the city income tax on the poorest families in the cities, those that make less than $40,000. George Bush took away their federal income tax. We're not going to continue to do that, tax them and lag behind George Bush. Let me just end on a nodding up note, because I know many of you disagree with the decision that I and some of my colleagues made about term limits. And I know that's an area where some of us do disagree, and a lot of us have had lengthy conversations about it. What I'll say is that for those of you who disagree with me on the decision we made, I understand that. And I know there really are two sides to this issue. But I made the decision that I believed was best for the future of the city to give voters the choice and option of keeping the same leadership when they go to the voting booth in September and November. I just want to finally close by thanking Stonewall for all of your great work, for the commitment you've all put to the club. The club has grown tremendously in recent years, done tremendous work around education and outreach. That's a big part of why we're doing as well as we're doing in Albany. So thank you all very much.